Hey, this is Jim McDonald. Welcome to episode 115 of the PowerCast. This episode is Jesse Norris. I know that a lot of people were anticipating this one last week when we sort of slipped CT Fletcher in on you, but this week Jesse is lifting at USAPL Raw Nationals, and we wanted to be sure we got this episode out before that. He's also lifting along with Lane Norton, previous guest on the show, and Bryce Lewis, also previous guest on this show. So it should be a great meet. It's supposed to be one of the biggest meets ever, maybe the biggest meet ever, hundreds and hundreds of lifters. And there should be live stream information available on the USAPL website. In the time since we recorded this episode, Jesse Norris now has his own YouTube channel, and he would like us to point you in that direction. I will link it up here, but if you need to actually search for it independently, it's Mr. Jesse Norris, MrJesseNorr. So Mr. Jesse Norris, check it out. He's uploading some new content, some training videos, and I'm sure that there will be meet videos there as well. Our sponsors for this episode, as always, howmuchyoubench.net, home of the slingshot, thepowermagazine.com, cavemancoffeeco.com, and if you're a fan of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, you probably caught Tate Fletcher on an episode last week, and if you're not a fan, I suggest that you check it out. Tate and Keith Jardine were on our show earlier in the year, and we had a great show with them, and this episode of Joe Rogan is probably the best hour of Rogan that I've heard in a while. So anyway, check it out, and check out Caveman Coffee Co., Caveman Coffee at cavemancoffeeco.com. Also, Compex USA at shopcompex.com. I've been compexing the crap out of my calf and ankle, trying to straighten them out, and so far it's helping quite a bit. So I'm enjoying the use of that. And also Rogue Fitness. I showed you last week a bunch of equipment that we have in the gym from Rogue Fitness. You can check it out by using our link, which is thepowercast.com/rogue. And now on with episode 115 of the PowerCast. Wait, hold on. Likes, shares, all those things that we appreciate from you for this free content that you get is some likes and shares and all of that good YouTube stuff. So anyway, on with episode 115 of the PowerCast.
Born in 62, he's pretty fucking old.
Older than me.
Recorded live at Super Training Gym in West Sacramento, California, this is Mark Bell's PowerCast. Alongside Silent Mike and Jim McD, here's your host, Mark Bell.
He put a little at the bed end.
On purpose, huh?
Here's your host.
Like each rapper kind of has their own like noise or hype thing. Like, yeah. Oh, he has his. Sounds
like he's fucking jizzing all over the microphone or some shit like that.
I think he's related to Ken Kniff.
Oh, from Connecticut.
Yeah, from the internet.
Yeah. Trying to lure your kids into bed.
Yeah. Ken Kniff and Dick Lickerson.
Disgusting.
That's my Power Ranger. You just touched my Ranger. How do you feel about that?
Jesse Norris is young enough to where he might like take that out of the package and just play with it the entire time.
We're asking him all these questions. He's fucking flying across the desk.
Yeah. Here, little Power Ranger, want some Monster Energy drink? Choo, 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 choo. Just jumping them all around.
Kids are hilarious with stuff like that.
Oh, it's amazing.
Great.
They got
funny.
fucking awesome imaginations.
Yeah, I can't play like that.
I'll tell you about Quinn and her ladybug that she drew. And the ladybug is thinking of a... Ladybug is got like those little bubbles over it.
She like a comic bubble, like a thought.
Thought bubble.
Yeah, thought bubble. And the thought bubble is of a flower.
It's so hungry.
It's random. I'll pull the picture up. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a great picture.
On my busted ass phone.
I know.
My phone be broke.
How do you do that? You have custom rims with your fucking company name on them, and your phone looks like Spider-Man.
Because it doesn't matter how much money you make. Everything's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, he didn't clean his rims.
Yeah.
They're dirty rims?
They're fucking dirty.
Yeah, that's not the only dirty rim I have.
Welcome to California where everything is dirty. All the cars are dirty.
So on the same topic, we were at dinner last night. Yeah, it's a great picture.
I don't know the people there.
I'll bring it close.
Yeah, take it right up there.
Take it right up the yin yang. Back it up a little bit so it's not blurry.
Yeah, you gotta focus that shit.
I think it's
Good
focused.
job, Quinn.
It's focused out here. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, they saw it.
So we're at dinner, the group of us, and Mr. Norris here had a great point and a disturbed point that he saw our toilets get a real fucking whooping around this.
Yeah,
dinner.
and you know what? I didn't realize this about Jesse Norris. I didn't know he was into like investigating.
He's a quiet assassin. He understands what's going on, but he's a little quiet
Did
about
he grow
it.
up on CSI? Is that the story?
I sit back and I observe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some real like insider info on what's going on here at Super Training.
Well, he said there was one of two things, I think, where they issue a high-set butthole, which no one really talks about.
It's like a wide-set vagina.
Yeah, except it's set more up towards your
for the back end,
heading towards the back of your
yeah,
neck.
and is there such a thing, or is it
our
like,
buttholes can't all be in the same place?
Yeah.
We're so unique.
We are.
That or there's
Everyone's
some,
belly button's kind of in a different spot.
Yeah, or what's our other option?
Loose buttholes.
Which
around.
I am sadly, I think that may be the case here at Super Training.
And you came to some of these assumptions about our buttholes due to
the toilets around here.
Some
and
splatter.
explosions on the inside of the seat.
Yeah, I don't know who's ever
you
seen.
swab any of the seats and stuff.
Yeah,
and
get
kinda-
samples.
Get some DNA. Yeah.
culture some stuff up.
Yeah.
The TV show Dexter, which was a pretty decent show, one of the few series I have watched. I think they actually do it in real life, too. They take, like, yarn, and they're checking angles of splatter and all this stuff. And I walked in the bathroom to go to the bathroom, and Jesse's in there fucking figuring out the splatter angle of all the poop.
Pictures,
Yeah.
walls, ceiling.
Yeah, and now
3D modeling.
probably
Yeah.
by tonight he'll know exactly who shat
So
everywhere.
it's like common knowledge that like poop is everywhere, right? Like there's particles of stuff everywhere.
Somebody said,
And like when you make like stuff like ketchup, there's like acceptable amounts, like parts per million of how many bugs and things can be in there and all that kind of stuff. But like at least you don't see it. You know, here there's like poop on the wall, but there's literally shit on the wall. Like there's actual poo on the wall. Like it's not like fecal matter parts. It's actual poo poo.
I think it was a different conversation totally. I think it was with Moneymaker and Marcus. Someone said that there's a gram of poo in washed underwear.
That's awesome.
After you wash it, there's still a gram of poo. I was like, whose butthole are they measuring this?
Well, then now they're starting to make the like silver nitrate embedded
That's what I need.
underwear. And
Is
stuff.
that related to Zortex?
The charcoal?
I don't know. The charcoal is different.
That's
technology.
Zortex.
Charcoal is for smell, but the silver is for bacteria.
Oh my god!
But
I'm just gonna
and then
burn every pair of
I think
underwear
we
after I
need.
wear it.
Don't we need some of that bacteria?
Not
I
butt
don't know.
bac-
That's a good
you
question.
need your
I
butt
don't know.
bacteria?
I think that in reality we need all the bacteria because we're supposed to be like more bacteria than we are human, right? Walking around.
Yeah. Well, isn't there supposed to be a bunch of butt juice on money too? Money's supposed to be the
And
dirtiest thing
cocaine.
ever.
I think there's a lot of
there's
cocaine.
Not. There's cocaine on
I
money,
would
not
say
butt juice on
there's
cocaine.
a new dirtiest thing ever, and it would be your fucking phone.
Yeah, by far.
It's like a petri dish of fucking cum and poo.
and the remote control in hotel rooms.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's gross.
man.
It's supposed to
Yeah.
be gross. I know people who will take.
What have you done with the remote control at your hotel?
You don't want to know.
That goddamn Hallmark Inn. No one else can stay there now. Goddamn.
Yeah. Well, cash is probably getting cleaner because everybody uses credit card.
Cash rules everything around me.
That's probably true.
Cream, get the money.
Yeah, we hit up Cream. didn't we?
Dollar bill, y'all. Yeah, just posted a picture of it.
Oh, hey now.
It was delicious.
Sushi and cream.
Although-
Cream tacos.
My ratio of I wouldn't order the brownie again just because
much.
there's too much brownie. Yeah,
You
Like,
got to go double scoop ice cream.
It was too dark and thick.
It was too dark and thick.
Gotta
Well,
go double.
it was too thick. Period.
I went-
It took up most of the cup. You know what I'm saying?
I went double cookie or single cookie double scoop.
Your brownie sundae ended up looking like one of those poops that's sticking up out of the bowl.
Brownie Sunday sounds like a very good porn film.
Brownie every day sounds really good too. But
Brownie sundae, like Sunday, or like a Sunday, like an
Yeah.
ice cream
How do you
sundae.
spell Sunday?
Sunday.
not the ice cream kind.
Did you say Sunday or someday?
Yeah, so it would be brownie Sunday, and it would be anal on a Sunday. That would be the pornography.
Anal
film.
Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be part 2.
Yeah. I think my wife said for our 50th
Wait,
wedding
what?
anniversary.
Oh, anal
Yeah,
Sunday.
Anal?
Yeah, 50th wedding anniversary. Yeah.
What are you going to be 80?
First time or is that like a revisit?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, remember
Yeah.
what you said?
Anal when you're 80.
Neither one of us can remember anything at that point, I don't think.
It's one of those things that's sounds better than it really turns out to.
Looks good on paper.
Looks good on paper. There you go.
Looks good on toilet paper.
We could get into the reasons why, but I think that everybody can just use their imagination.
What about anal? Big J-Mo got his sleeves.
Did he?
Yeah, J-Mo. The biggest powerlifter on the planet.
Did he fit?
I don't know. He just said that he just found him.
J-Mo.
He just found him. Where the fuck does he live?
I don't know. He said he's like sometimes like the post office. I don't know. He might be in Paint Lick.
He is.
Yeah, I think it's hard to get the post office to go to Paint Lick.
Yeah, they don't want to go there.
They probably have one mailman.
It's in Paint Lick with
Paint Lick, Kentucky.
With
Brandon Lilly.
The 606. It's the home of Brandon Lilly.
It's a real shithole, I'd imagine.
He sent us a picture or something, didn't he? He said like, "Oh, this is the church."
Is this the town?
Yeah, it's like the church, the post office, and then a bunch of houses.
It was in one photo.
That's it. Yeah, one stop sign. I don't even know if they have a stop light.
Yeah, what's his name? Larry Bird from French Lick, Indiana, which is like
they're probably rivals.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, the Lick area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whoever names it Paint Lick.
How about where you're from, Jesse Norris? Is it pretty populated, not populated? You're from Idaho, right?
Yeah, originally from Nampa. When I grew up, it wasn't too populated, but it's getting a lot.
Wow, Jim just went into somebody's backyard.
Yeah, we're in Paint Lick.
We're on a bridge in Paint Lick over a
down
little bit of
by
water.
the river. Yeah.
Like, how many like high schools were in your town?
Originally one, and now
So pretty
there's
small.
like 3 or 4.
All right.
So yeah, it's
Pretty
expanding pretty fast.
And white supremacists?
You don't see very many.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought Idaho was all about white supremacists.
Could be. There's a lot of potatoes there, isn't there?
I
And a
mean,
blue
yeah.
football field is what I know of.
Yeah. That's what it's most recognized for.
There's some big companies up there. You work for bodybuilding.com, right?
Yeah, bodybuilding.com.
I think Hewlett-Packard was up there. Wasn't that a giant-ass fucking plant that we drove by?
Maybe HP or something like that.
Micron.
Yeah. And then there's also like a bunch of like protein bar factories and different stuff of that nature. I've heard that are in that area.
Some different manufacturing. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like that here in Sacramento.
A lot of farmland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you grow up doing? Was your family farmers or anything, or?
Well, not originally, but yeah, I grew up helping out around the house, hauling in buckets of water. I know that's how I originally got so strong.
What's the story about the horse? Like you guys didn't have a horse. And
Yeah.
you had to like drag the
You pulled
buggy
the wagon?
yourself?
Yeah, all the other kids had horses that hauled the wagon to school, and my parents just I was the guy in front of the wagon. I didn't understand that.
So you're 22, but you grew up in the 10.
Fucking Idaho, man.
You have to walk to school in the snow.
Like Conan, like when he's walking with the
O'Brien?
the Conan wheel, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Conan. Okay.
You ever seen
Conan.
Strongman? And they're pulling the.
Yeah, you invented that.
Yeah.
You invented pulling sleds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Why not?
Hey now.
There you go. Fun fact of the day, ladies and
Oh
gentlemen.
my God.
That's how you deadlift.
I have a little bit of a rant to go on because
More than the butthole rant?
well, people keep going on my YouTubes and they keep like saying, "Hey, you need to have so and so on. You need to have this guy on and that guy on." And all I have to say to that is fuck all you guys, because if anybody knows what's good for them, they're going to show up here, and they won't have to. If you're going to suggest that somebody come here, go on their fucking page and tell them to come to Super Training.
Yeah. Suggest them to email us and plan
Yeah.
a date to show up.
Right.
I got a
Exactly.
message today. Have you ever thought about having Eric Lillibridge on the show? Okay, well, number one, he's been on the show. Mm-hmm. And number two, you only sponsor him. You only name knee wraps on him. It never fucking occurred to us that we should have Eric Lillibridge on the show.
Yeah. Or The Rock. People are saying, like, yeah, it would be great if The Rock and fucking Barack Obama would come on the show, but there's some issues with that.
I'd love to have them on the show and have them play ping pong. That'd be awesome.
Yeah,
together.
people just keep mentioning all these different names, and I'm just like, well, just go on their channel and bug them to come here, because I'm the one who's pumping out the content.
Your mic is fading.
What?
Yeah,
Oh my God!
It's kind of limp.
Point.
Yeah, you're getting limp
hey
again.
now.
Mark.
There you go. Much better.
Hey now, yeah, just kind of that happens.
Yeah, I
Probably
got
not
angry
to a guy
at
your
you
age,
last
so.
time for that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's rapidly approaching 40, so you know.
That was all your rant? That wasn't that fired up. I was
No. It's
wanted
not.
more.
No, it's not that. I mean, it's not that bad.
I wanted you to throw a monster against the fucking
No,
radio
no.
and shit.
It's not that angry of a rant. All this shit that we do is fun. It's too much fun.
More of a public message.
It's too much fun to get too mad.
Public service announcement.
But it's all people I haven't even heard of, too.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, throw me some legitimate people that have actually done something, and maybe I'll consider it a little bit more.
Well, yeah. I think that in reality, there are not that many undiscovered people in the fitness world. Yeah. There's some, but like
right.
if we haven't heard of them at all,
yeah,
there might be a
and
reason.
Some of these people that already have their own channel going, that are pumping out a lot of their own content, and there's becoming quote unquote celebrities within the fitness industry. I don't really care that much about a lot of those kind of people. I care more about like guys like this that have a fucking 825-pound deadlift at 198 pounds, to shed some light on somebody like that's doing something that's fucking awesome, that's really cool, that can inspire a lot of other people that people may not know about. So that's what I feel our job is, is to show people how fucking awesome some of these people are.
PewDiePie was on Colbert last night.
Really?
YouTube's taking over the TV.
Yeah,
all those guys are getting shows and shit.
Yeah, he's like, well, do you watch TV? He said, no, I just watch YouTube.
I've only watched one video of PewDiePie that was kind of weird.
Yeah, PewDiePie swears a lot, right?
Yeah, he was playing some
weird, man.
Yeah, he was playing some weird old school game, and all he wanted to do was like chop off people's legs, and he was all giggling and stuff. I was like, I don't know if it was kind of like watching the Joker from Batman play a video game or something.
Exactly. Jesse, you're what, 22, right?
Yeah, 22.
Are you into the YouTubes a lot? Are you all over the fucking internet, or are you actually doing other stuff?
I'm doing other stuff. I'd like to get on YouTube, but I mean, yeah, I work full-time job, 10 hours a day, 4 days a week, and then spend my other time lifting, personal training, and online training. So I have too much
hanging
time.
Out with your little puppy.
Have my lady, have my puppy. Yeah.
I saw you
Have
racing.
you guys seen my little dog?
I saw you racing him in the backyard.
Yeah.
Did you win?
No, barely.
Oh, dude,
that dog has only 2-inch legs, and it was keeping up with you, buddy.
Hey, I'm kind of quick. Not that quick.
Did you cheat?
Did I cheat?
Yeah, did you elbow the dog?
I kicked him in the leg.
Yeah.
Took off.
It's like the smallest little doxy.
Kicked him in the shin.
Punt him across the yard and take off.
Kind of looks like a football.
Yeah.
They're so fun.
They are.
How'd you get into all this mess? How'd you get into lifting?
Well, I originally started back 8th grade, just training just to be better at sports, just, as any kid probably does.
Not for chicks?
Which sports?
Well, chicks too,
all right.
But, football in particular.
Were you just super skinny or what? Fat? What did you have going on at that age?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't that big. I was pretty skinny, just average build. Didn't start on the football team, so I just wanted to get better. So yeah, got in the gym, worked out. I was probably in the gym more than any other person, but when you first max, everyone else does the same thing. You get your maxes, you're right there with everyone else. There's no one exactly outstanding at that time.
Yeah, everyone's within like 20 pounds or some shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I spent the most time in the weight room that year and set the records for the school that year at the end of the year because I dedicated my time. The next year, freshman year of high school, I then started on the football team, and that's basically all I wanted.
Yeah.
Stayed in the weight room. Got a huge concussion, in case you're wondering why I'm so slow. Yeah. And
I thought it was because you're from Idaho.
Idaho. And then I was introduced to powerlifting from my coach, Steve Rayborn. Great guy, and he kind of showed me the technique, the form, what it's about.
He was like a high school teacher or football coach?
High school coach, teacher. Now works for the state. He showed me the ropes, and I just kind of grew from there.
Did he have you lifting with your pants on or off? Because you can't trust these gym teachers now.
Yeah, you never know. No, we kept him on at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Yeah.
Just at the beginning, though, right?
Yeah, until he got to know me.
Yeah.
Then everything came off.
Do you remember some of the numbers you hit like in 8th grade or freshman year?
Yeah, freshman year, I was a 165-pound. I was lifting in single ply, knee wraps, that stuff. So that's how it started. But I squatted 450, benched right around 3, and deadlifted just over 505 or so.
Yeah,
sounds kind of comparable to Ed Cohn.
Yeah.
When Ed Cohn was here,
14, 15?
Yeah, I was 15
Yeah.
at that point, yeah.
Yeah, when Ed Cohn was here and he was talking about like his when he first started lifting, He said I think he squatted like around 500 pounds pretty early on.
Yeah.
He only weighed about $150 or so. You know.
What did you say? Pulled 405 the first time he ever deadlifted?
I think so.
Like that?
Yeah. Was
425.
that something similar with yourself, or where did you start?
First time I ever pulled, I pulled 315 on a hex bar. So yeah, and then by the end of the year is 405, and freshman year just bounced up. So
try stuffing your microphone further down, and not you.
Wait,
Jesse,
what?
but
Huh?
in
Mark.
my mouth.
Yeah.
Open your mouth.
Yeah. Just try stuffing it down further in the. There we go. I think that'll
Balance
keep
it out.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Stuff
Either
it
that or
all
I
the
need
way
to
in
grab a
there.
quarter and fix that. Anyway, go on.
I got distracted by the big black
Then
face.
when did you start competing?
I did start competing my freshman year.
Pretty
I went
much right away.
Yeah, we hold a state meet in Idaho, and then that year I went to high school nationals as well, and that was in Michigan, if I remember right.
Right. How'd you do in the first couple meets?
State I took second, and high school nationals I took first in my class. Of course, you're competing against other freshmen and sophomore kids because they have the age groups. But
Once you got second place, is that when you started steroids?
Totally.
You're
Yeah, I
just like,
couldn't
"Fuck
take it
this."
anymore. Yeah.
Fuck this. First loser. What did you think about competition at that point? Were you like, did you feel about it the way you do in football, where you're trying to beat everybody, or were you thinking about it just in terms of making yourself?
It started a lot as just making myself better, just being the best, as strong as I could for football and stuff like that. But once I got my concussion, I kind of just lost sight of football and grew into the powerlifting sport and saw how far, people talked about the world competition. There was a girl on the team that had gone to Worlds, and she talked a lot about it. So I was really interested in making the world team. So yeah, my freshman year I was definitely dedicated. I didn't make the world team that year. Took second at nationals, so I was runner up or whatever they have it. And then the next year I grew into the next weight class and just kept training, pushing myself, and it's more to get to that level than anything else.
Yeah, I think that's a fact a lot of people don't know about you. People know that you pull 825 and squat the shit out of some fucking 750 pounds, but they don't know that you been lifting for so long and actually went to the IPF Worlds and won. Yeah,
I've been to IPF Worlds 3 times. First year I took second. Junior year, my second year, took first and set some world records, and then senior year took first and reset the world records. So
Jesus, what kind of weights were you hitting then? And that was single ply, right?
yeah, single ply 181s. I hit a 727 squat. Bench 387 or so, which isn't a world record. My bench isn't that great. And pulled 707, which was another record. Totaled 1810 at 181s, and that was the goal.
That's crazy. That's still a big number. Yeah. Even now, geared, that's still a good, that's fucking impressive. As a little kid, basically.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
18 years old, man.
What was it like competing on that world stage? Did that get you nervous at all, or you're just like, I'm just going to do my thing and not worry about it?
It is. I mean, I'm always nervous going into a meet, but at the end of the day, it's just perform your best and just do your thing. You gotta ignore your surrounding pretty much, even though as bad as I wanted to win, what it comes down to is just hitting your numbers.
Yeah, we talked a little bit, and you said you like to PR in a meet, and I personally agree with that, and I think that's a hot topic. But going into the meet, are you, okay, I'm going to total 1850, or are you like, all right, I'm going to open at 600, and then I'm going to see what today has for me?
Yeah, I mean, I set my goal like, okay, my trainings, I should be set up for, so going on Raw Nationals, I'm set up hopefully for 2050. So I kind of know my three numbers I'd like to hit, but, I go up open somewhat light. And depending on how it feels, how the day's going, it's just going to determine the outcome. So.
Yeah, the goal total would be if you go 9 for 9, if everything kind of plays in.
Exactly.
What's the deal with all the volume that you do? There's seems like you do 6 or 7 working sets, and I've just never seen anybody really train like that before, where you're doing a shitload of reps and stuff like that, even all the way through your warm-ups.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing for me is just it helps my body adjust to the weight, It's just the adaptation.
What do you think of his body, Mike?
I think his body is adjusting great.
Jim?
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive. Yeah.
We like your body.
Thank you.
We're
Yeah.
adjusting to it right now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Whatever's between my legs is adjusting.
Yeah.
Even helps the PowerCast. What do you think? Yeah.
Ratings.
Well, to roll back, let's talk about the concussion thing. I mean, that's obviously a hot topic right now. Like, what are your thoughts on concussions in youth sports and in professional sports?
Well, growing up, it wasn't always the best as far as the testing went and the eye on it. But nowadays, it's very common, and we have a lot more knowledge about it. And there are the tests that they do on the kids before they play football. And if they get hit in the head, you go take another test. They basically see reaction time and, problem-solving skills. So I think they're doing a much better job on watching that subject and prevent, brain problems.
Do you think it could have been, with your situation, you think it could have been more prevented, or it's just kind of like you wanted to play football? You weren't necessarily that big, and that's kind of what happened sometimes.
We didn't have the rules like they do now, like no head-to-head contact like they do in college and NFL, and that's basically what happens. So there's rules in place to better watch that now.
Yeah, I think all that's interesting. I'm not that knowledgeable on the subject, or I haven't read up on that much, but I know they're talking a lot about like the micro trauma, right? Like every lineman's getting it because it's just a mini hit after mini hit, causing mini concussion after mini concussion, really causing the brain damage. And powerlifting's not popular enough, but I think they're going to find a lot in there, like heavy sets. You hit
strain.
You hit a heavy set of 5,
sure
10, a heavy single, a heavy double. There has to be something very similar happening with your face.
When you pull that weight off the ground so fast and you whip your head back.
You get lightheaded, or you get fucking you see stars. I mean, what else? It's the same sensation. So something up there has to be going on.
It's got to be worse in geared lifting.
Oh yeah, the pressure is
the pressure is really, really bad.
Yeah.
Those of us who know.
Yeah, and who knows if they'll ever study that, because powerlifting's not
no one cares.
Clearly on the level of football, or how many kids are playing football.
Well, by judging by the people in powerlifting,
I think a number of them have
they've been squatting
significant
too
traumas over the years.
It only makes sense, right?
Judging by social media, I would say that some of the people who've competed in multiple.
Why do you think you've been able to kind of fly under the radar a little bit?
I think the biggest reason for me is just I don't care to put myself out there that much. I mean, I've been on Instagram a lot more recently within the last few months and posting. I mean, I only got like 150 posts or something.
Right.
But, I just never really cared for the attention.
You've been in the animal cage a little bit.
Yeah, been in the animal cage mostly because I work at bodybuilding.com. I was presented to animal, and then they follow up based on what I could do. But, just stay on the radar. I'm not looking for the attention, but
yeah, you're just lifting and concentrating on just getting stronger. And obviously, everybody wants to be recognized a little bit, but it's not like a main focus. You're focused in on just training, basically.
Right. Yeah. The biggest thing for me lately is just to make myself better, whether it's lifting or just my career. Any goals I have is just pursue that and do the best you can.
So, what are your career goals?
Well, I'm 22. I don't exactly know what I want to do, but I do love the fitness industry. I love powerlifting. So if I can help expand the sport and, make it more recognized by the general public, that's what I'd love to do. So
yeah, talking to you in private, you've been in the sport probably longer than I have, even though I'm a little bit older than you. But we both recognize that like powerlifting, it's like hard to get recognition in.
Yeah.
So like talking like that, it makes sense why you're not hunting attention, because you know what the sport is, kind of, and it's awesome and we all love it, but it's not. Yeah, you go to the NBA so you can end up on a card, and so you can end up on a Wheaties box. That's part of the fucking deal.
Right.
Like you're like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna win a championship. I'm gonna end up on a Wheaties box. But like none of us got into powerlifting. Like, hey, I'm gonna fucking
it was never.
I'm gonna have a clothing line because I deadlift 800. Like no, I just want to be strong.
Yeah. That's basically what you get into, and you hope that things like that might happen. But
Jesse Norris, first powerlifter on the fucking Wheaties box. Wheaties. Everybody go tweet.
Wheaties.
Yeah,
he does have nice nipples. I mean,
no, he'd kill the cereal game.
Oh,
Are you kidding me? Fucking go tweet Wheaties, everyone. Get Jesse Norris on the fucking box. Tweet him that. Why not?
Why not?
Serena Williams is on there.
Yeah, he's yoked.
Yeah.
Good-looking kid.
I got
strong
bigger
as
legs
shit.
than Serena.
Yeah, and great tits.
Maybe not. She's pretty jacked.
Pretty thick, yeah.
God damn, she's pretty yoked.
I can always hope to have bigger legs than she.
Yeah.
Have you had any setbacks in your training, injuries, or anything that's sidelined you from lifting for a little while?
Nothing that's kept me out of the game too long, but I've had, I strained my pec once. I've strained my hamstrings a couple times.
That's from the juice.
Yeah,
Only
the
people
juice.
that are on shit tear a muscle.
Yeah, totally.
That's what you hear.
Known fact.
But the biggest thing for me is back inflammation in my SI joints. But I've figured out a way to kind of deal with that, just stretching and icing when I can, and when to back off of weights. And
You want to rub his SI joint for him, Michael?
Yeah, I don't know where that is, but I'll rub.
it's
rub
down low.
It's way down
Further
in there.
left.
On the
Further
down low.
left.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere. What about you're into motorcycles and stuff too? And I think you told me that you got into a little bit of a wreck. What happened there?
Yeah, so, right out of high school, I bought my first motorcycle. I rode dirt bikes growing up. But
Your parents pretty pumped about that.
I think my parents probably weren't pumped exactly, but they let me live my own life, which
That's
is
cool.
nice. So, I bought my motorcycle, and one night it was R6, so I like street bikes. I also own a Harley as well now, just to cruise around on. I love it.
Sweet.
But yeah, lady pulled out in front of me, just wasn't paying attention. I, of course, was looking in my blind spot when she happened to pull out. And
Was she Asian?
she probably was.
Yeah. Damn it, I knew it.
I didn't get a look
Damn
at
it,
her
Sandy.
'cause, I hit my head on the ground pretty hard and got knocked unconscious and had a brain injury.
Did you just wake up in the hospital or something? after that?
Woke up in the ambulance and they're taking some blood to make sure I wasn't on steroids and alcohol. So, yeah.
It was actually the IPF.
He's on steroids.
The IPF was in the van. Yeah, no.
The IPF actually pulled out in front
Yeah,
of you.
made you crash.
Yeah, made
That's
you crash.
what happened.
To give an excuse to take your blood.
Fucking Illuminati, man.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Bastards. So they found what? Tons of steroids?
Everything.
And that you hurt your
Everything and anything. Yeah. No, but yeah, brain injury. I was. Oh man, what did I do? It's a hard time to remember for me, just because it wasn't exactly the best place.
Some fancy word that probably meant nothing to you anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Doctor just said, you're pretty much stupid from here on out, so just don't worry about it.
Did you hurt anything else, or just got ended up with a brain injury?
Brain injury. So I was probably lucky enough to get knocked unconscious. You
Right.
know, everything from there just kind of goes limp. So.
Right.
Huh? Everything goes limp?
Everything.
Dang.
Yeah, all right.
Well, maybe not everything.
Everything but one thing
Not
went
permanently.
limp.
I don't know if you met Bryce yesterday, but he was.
Yeah, you did. You took a picture.
Yeah.
Bryce,
Yeah, he was in a motorcycle accident and he was knocked the fuck out. He was out for a long time. Like the issues with his leg and all that stuff are already pretty much handled by the time he woke up. He was in a coma for a while.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
Well, good thing, he woke up, and he was a good sport about it, which is awesome.
He has an incredible personality over the whole thing. I think that he said that it probably was easier that he doesn't remember exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It was like he doesn't have that trauma. We had a couple weeks ago. I got asked for a shout out for a guy who was in a motorcycle accident, and he remembers like every moment of it, and
Jesus,
that's
That sounds terrible.
That's kind of the part of the problem. He remembers it in like way too much detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get hurt at all, but I got T-boned one time, and then for a year, I was just fucking looking at every corner, making sure I didn't, just freaking out that I was about to get T-boned. All I got was a little headache and a neck strain. But
yeah, the thing about my accident was I was following all the rules.
Yeah.
I was being more of a defensive driver, is what you would call it, and shit happens.
yeah, I guess that's why it's called an accident. Sometimes people are just being idiots, and sometimes shit just happens.
Yeah. Here in Sacramento, I think we're the rear-ending capital of the fucking world. I don't know if exactly that's
Yeah,
true,
we
but
are,
it
buddy.
Seems like it.
Seems like it. Have you seen the toilet?
Yeah, exactly. But no, you will have your car totaled frequently. I think I've lost 3 or 4 in the last.
Just getting drilled from behind.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely,
saying?
It's terrible.
And rear-ended one too many times.
I lost my car and my dignity getting rear-ended.
Exactly.
Oh man.
And those are little things.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover from that? Was it a long time to spin out of that, or?
It was a few months. I don't exactly remember how much time it was, but throughout it, I stayed into lifting. You know, I still went to the gym and worked out. Not quite
At least
as
you think you did.
Yeah, not as intense because there's a lot of days. I was working nights at the time. A lot of days where I slept all day, like 14 or 16 hours straight.
Yeah.
And that was just my body telling me it needed time to recover. And I ate a shit ton of steak, and that was its way of figuring it out.
Me and Mark, you woke up and you just wanted steak.
Dude, the weirdest time in my life, that's all I craved.
Yeah.
Like,
how about now? Like steak, hate it, whatever?
Steak's good, but I don't need it every day.
I'm going to
Steak
rewrite.
and vagina.
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to rewrite this whole story. So Jesse Norris was age 15. He really wanted to be the world's best power lifter, but he couldn't even bench 135. Age 16, he benched 145.
Oh.
Age 17, 155. So he's making progress, but he's not much happening.
He's kind of making that fat Dan progress.
Yeah. 5 pounds a year lost on his body fat and gained on his bench.
There you go.
And then age 18, he had a horrific motorcycle accident. 6 months later, he pulled 750.
Yeah,
6 months after that, he pulled 800. This is the story of fucking the Fantastic Four.
My body just released so much GH.
He's got fucking anonantium in his body.
The Honda that he crashed into, the metal became in his fucking erectors.
Was there a motor in the back of that Honda?
Oh, my anaconda. And that's what happened, ladies and gentlemen.
Is that how it happened?
Jesse Norris was built in the back of a Honda.
Yeah, I'm going to let it fly because I don't know what happened.
Maybe not.
Maybe not, yeah.
You know what that's called? Something weird happened.
Yeah.
That's what I call it,
Yeah.
I don't know. Something weird happened.
Something weird happened.
Yeah.
Something weird happened, and we ended up here
Yeah, exactly. Look
just-
where I'm at now.
It just ended up that way.
on the world's worst podcast. Lucky you, buddy. Lucky you.
So you mentioned you worked nights for a while, and we get a lot of questions from people about working nights and how to manage their time. And
Does that mean
how
he was
they-
a stripper? Or is that like a lady of the night?
No,
or something?
we're getting there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How did you manage your time, lifting wise, when you're working nights, and what were your hours like?
Well, I worked nights for 3 years. It was 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. And even I was going to be a volunteer firefighter, so I was going to class
7
for
p.m.
that.
to 5 a.m. Wow.
Yeah, so it was a rough time to keep working out and stuff. So, but I was going to class 2 hours a day for firefighting and going to work. Sleep for 6 to 8 hours and go work out. And basically just cooked a bunch of chicken and vegetables throughout the week and took that for my meals. And that's how I, stayed on track weight-wise. And
Did you work out before or after work?
as soon as I woke up, I went to the gym.
No.
Yeah. So 3 p.m. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is kind of crazy. But so you think like a key element to that is going to be like staying up on your food, like you mentioned that
staying on a schedule.
You prepped your food beforehand, because otherwise you're just not going to have the fuel.
No.
And then you're going to be like, fuck, man, I need to eat. And it's just another distraction. Anytime you can have anything swerve you away from the gym, sometimes you might kind of head that way, right? Especially if you're just exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. The biggest thing, staying on a schedule and just having everything laid out so it doesn't distract you any more than, your class or work or anything else that might come up throughout the day. So that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, it's just something that kind of has to happen. It's something that needs to be done. Did you work out 3 or 4 days a week, or how many times a week did you work out?
Throughout the fire training, it was probably 3 days a week, 3 or 4 times. But as soon as I was done with that, it was every day of the week. And I was there for 3 years. So 1 year was the fire training stuff, and then the next 2 years was just me going to work and working out. And every day of the week, it wasn't hard for me. And my weekends, I had 3 days off, so that was I could work out a little more intensely on those days. But
and what do you do for that was when you were working with bodybuilding.com, and you still work for them now?
Yeah.
What do you do for them now?
So I was in customer service, just taking calls, chats, emails, stuff like that. Now I'm on the
People yelling at you, I just ordered some. Where the hell is it?
Yeah,
I took creatine for a week and I'm still weak.
Like, you just ordered it an hour ago.
asking me if I had steroids and all that. Yeah.
You guys still selling them steroids?
Yeah. But yeah, now I'm doing the reship recovery stuff, and it's mostly just back end work, which Mike likes.
I can teach you, buddy.
Yeah. No, so I'm just helping figure out, where missing packages are and trying to get them back to the company. So
Where the fuck are they?
yeah, it's a good
Are they
point.
just in Idaho? Is that where they all are?
Sherlock
Everywhere.
Holmes sometimes.
I get a lot of
hunting down
missing
the package.
packages.
Oh man, I'm Inspector Gadget over here. You saw me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, maybe
yeah,
that's how you figure out the butthole
He
thing.
figured out the shitter. He figures out where my creatine is.
Oh.
All makes
Now
sense
I get
now.
it.
Yeah. it
Now-
does.
Yeah, now things are adding up.
Another gift he got in the accident.
It seems so often that people have no idea what their actual address is, and so they just give you the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And so it goes nowhere.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some people I get that a lot too. It's like, oh yeah, my address doesn't work.
Well, yeah. What the
Well,
hell are you talking
what
about?
how does your address not work? Like the mailman
You're
doesn't
not
know
typing in
where you
enough
are?
numbers and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, what are you, off the grid?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
Yeah.
if you're in Paint Lick, but otherwise you have no excuse.
Yeah, that does make some sense.
Seriously. Figure out your address, people.
Bodybuilding.com is kind of amazing. Like you order from there, and this is like a commercial for them, I guess. But when you order from there, I mean, it fucking comes so quick.
Yeah, a day or two for
Yeah.
us.
And they've been ahead of that curve for a long time. I'd say maybe the last 5 years or so.
Yeah. Same with pricing. Somehow.
They've been on point. Yeah,
They're the
they
cheapest.
got really good prices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God damn it, bodybuilding.com.
They've been on point with that shit.
Yeah, that's like the biggest priority of the company. Just get the customer their package and, get it right.
Yeah.
Are you anywhere? Are you like in the warehouse, like where all the shit is, or are you in a separate building?
I'm sitting behind a desk all day.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Do you have to
I'm
wear a
in the-
suit? Do you look like a little nerd at work?
You don't have access to all the supplements and
Just-
stuff.
I wear stuff like this.
Really? You can kind of wear whatever you
Yeah.
want. That's cool.
Do you work in the building that we went to, or is
Yeah,
that
the
different?
headquarters.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where our boy Rep It Rich is in there.
Yeah.
Shout out Rep It Rich.
Oh, he's gone now.
Oh no.
Bless his
Took
soul.
off.
Where'd Richie go?
He's gonna go work for a church now.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That was his lifelong dream.
That's cool.
so good for him.
Yeah, I haven't seen Rich. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, Rich is a great guy.
yeah.
He ate Reese's a pound of Reese's
Ooh.
peanut
Oh,
butter
yeah,
cup
yeah.
with us
We
as
all
we did
got
an arm
diabetes.
workout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pound.
It was really big.
It was huge.
It was the size of
It was
a
one of
Reese's-
those big ones.
It was a
One of
Reese's
those-
Pieces the
yeah.
size of a donut, and we each had one.
Not Reese's Pieces.
A Reese's cup.
There's a
Reese's
big
cup.
difference.
There is.
It's a peanut butter cup.
Have you had the ice cream? A little bit smaller. I'd say 1.75 the size of a hockey puck.
So
Oh, it was
about like that.
Yeah.
and
Round.
It was like inch thick,
round
man.
though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So because they make a bar
Oh, that sounds all right.
that they actually
Like a Hershey bar.
they sell less than 5 miles from our current location.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe we should go there.
Yeah, they have them at Fry's.
Oh, I didn't
it's
know that.
it's gigantic.
I just saw
like
The peanut
this
butter cup
big.
was huge too. I would say that it was like
was big.
It was like that
Yeah.
big.
it was big.
Yeah,
And
I've
a-
never seen a really big peanut butter cup.
I had
Yeah.
to go to the
So-
hospital after to get some insulin. It's crazy.
Yeah, hospital,
Yeah, remember
aka gym bag.
Yeah. my fanny pack.
Yeah.
With all my
See?
syringes.
Now I'm gonna get all of these. Yeah, that's what Moneymaker asked him. He's like, "What do you think about Mike's fanny pack?" He's like, "Well, that's where everyone keeps their steroids."
Yeah.
Well, you need to conceal them a little bit.
Yeah.
You can't just have it hanging out your butt the whole time. So.
Back to Reese's Pieces. I've had Snickers ice cream. Right. Fucking amazing.
Like a Snickers ice cream bar. Or
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Those-
Snickers ice cream is good too, but the bar.
The
Yeah.
Snickers ice cream bar
Yeah,
is
ice cream
amazing.
bar, yeah.
But I've never seen
That's like
or
stuff dreams are
had,
made out of.
a Reese's cup ice cream.
Oh, I have
I haven't.
a ton. It's,
I just saw it today or yesterday.
It's pretty good. The problem though is that the chocolate has like paraffin in it to keep it together. So
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like a drug.
No, it's like
Let's
wax.
take some paraffin.
It's like a waxy
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that
yeah.
keeps it together, keeps it from totally melting.
Wax. I could use that on my asshole.
And
Perfect.
so in the ice cream, it's a little too cold, and it takes some
Chocolate
of the flavor out of the
wax.
chocolate.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Fake
Sounds
chocolate
like a
taste.
good night.
If you want something like that, you want to go to Cold Stone and get the
Cold Stone's pretty
peanut
good.
butter
I don't know if
ice
there's a
cream.
Cold Stone around here.
Yeah, there is.
The birthday cake
There's a-
remix.
there's
The
a-
one by my place closed.
There's a Cold Stone, again, not 5 miles from here.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, how do I not know these things?
Yeah, I
We
don't know.
found like a little secret gem of a bunch of restaurants we didn't know was so close.
Got to follow the poop trail.
Yeah. Follow
Cold
number
Stone
2.
will fuck you up. That Cold
Yeah,
Stone will
door
fuck
number
you up.
2.
I want ice cream now. Fuck.
I know. We're
Had
screwed.
ice cream.
I could eat ice cream all day.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you're a pretty lean guy. What do you need? What do you do with your diet now? Do you have to pay attention to it? Do you eat the same way you did when?
So, during my work week, it's very laid out. I'm lucky enough that Candace, my girlfriend, helps cook, and
She's into the
she's
fitness
big
life.
into
yeah.
fitness. Yeah. If you don't follow Candace, she's does a lot of conditioning, body weight exercises, and is very big.
Should
on-
follow her because she's hot. Is what he's
She-
trying to
She
say.
is hot. Yeah.
She competes too. Yeah, not powerlifting.
She
but
did compete
yeah.
in a lot of figure and in the WPC or whatever that is on the East Coast. I don't know personally.
Yeah, I don't either.
So, but yeah, she's big into the nutrition and she knows how to lay that out. So she.
Did you win her over with your deadlift, or did she win you over with her job position at bodybuilding.com?
I won her over.
Boom! There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Big deadlift, big
Cack.
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Mike knows.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
There you go.
I got a medium deadlift and a medium.
Mm-hmm. A schmedium.
Yeah. But yeah, nutrition 4 days a week. On my weekends, it's more relaxed. I mean, I obviously try to eat good, eat a lot of protein. You know, stay on low on the fat. But on weekends, I'll have some beer and eat whatever.
Yeah,
Go out for pizza.
Refuel.
Is your
cream.
girlfriend your boss?
Not my boss.
Different department, yeah.
Different departments.
Can
So
she be? Depending
Did
on
she
the day?
fire you?
I
Yeah.
mean, it
You know,
depends
bring
on-
you into her office and
depends
you're in
on the
trouble.
role.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No, that could be a problem, Mark. Yeah.
Well, you said that Rich isn't there anymore. He's in human resources, so.
Well, hopefully no one's listening.
yeah. They won't know all the top secret stuff that goes on.
That's right. No one listens to this anymore.
No.
Yeah.
This thing's fucking dumb. So your girlfriend, she works out like pretty much totally opposite from
Yeah.
the stuff that us fat guys do, right?
She tried the powerlifting movement.
Well, she tried a little bit?
And she did very well. She squatted 265, bench 200, and deadlifted
Bench
315.
200?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's strong.
Yeah. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, that's very strong.
Yeah, and dead 315. But yeah, she's always doing her conditioning stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
She still do a little bit of both now?
Yeah, she does a lot of. She likes the squats.
Ah,
Yeah.
for the booty.
When you guys first met, did she have a perception of, what's good in powerlifting type thing, or does she even now, or?
I mean, I don't think she quite had the idea, or knew.
Because like an 825-pound deadlift is like astronomical. It's like
Yeah,
hard
who
to-
else is doing
yeah,
that right now?
to her that was crazy because she
Yeah,
didn't really know what anyone else did in the powerlifting, and I mean that's still great
Yeah.
deadlift. But yeah, I was able to at least show her, this is what I do. And then this is what everyone else does.
Right,
And, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, hey now."
He showed him. He showed her me.
Yeah.
Like, this is what a real powerlifter looks like. Man, this is Silent Mike.
And this is my competition.
Yeah. You choose, honey.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. It was a good time.
What about supplements? Everyone asks about fucking supplements. You're at fucking bodybuilding.com.
Oh
Yeah, are you creeping through? You're creeping through, aren't you? You're
Yeah.
creeping through like, BCAAs.
Yeah.
I don't know where your package went, sir. Slurp, slurp, slurp on
Thanks,
some fucking
though.
BCAA.
Yeah. No, I take a few supplements. I mean, I'm big on the BCAAs and glutamine, protein, and pretty much pre-workout every time I lift.
Get hyped up.
Yeah.
You lift, what, 6 or 7 times a week?
Yeah, 6 or 7.
So you're just
sometimes.
living on pre-workout.
Yeah. Love it.
Is beer a big part of your regimen?
No, I mean, I really like beer, but it bloats me out.
Do you just fart smell?
I know. I wish I
That's
sounded
what
like-
it sounded
Yeah,
like.
it sounded like a huge rip.
my
Wow.
ripcord.
Yeah, we need to actually wrap that back.
Yeah, your
well,
umbilical cord of
Yeah,
your
right.
mic
Just throw it up there,
headphones
that'll
are
do it.
so long.
Yeah.
Mine's just in a weird
Jesus.
knot.
Something weird happened.
Something
was
weird.
weird.
One
Rip
weird
that.
Something
trick.
weird happened, and we we ended up here.
Yep. Do you have a question, Jim?
Oh no, I just said one weird trick. You see that on the internet all the time. That's
Oh,
like
yeah.
very clickbaity. One weird trick. The one weird change that so and so made that did this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's save the butthole.
The butthole. The buttholes.
No one's butthole's safe.
We need to get some yarn.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. For Dexter over here.
Yeah.
I got something in my bag.
And line it up with the various buttholes, and let's get to the bottom of who is shitting on
Bottom of the bottom.
the bottom of the lid of the toilet,
rear end.
of the.
I do
don't know,
think
something.
it's not talked about enough how we talk about genetics and bicep insertions and bodybuilding and stuff, but where your
Bunghole.
where it's placed, it has to play a role.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Like, help your deadlift.
You could
right?
you could have a high set butthole or a low set butthole.
Well, it's disgusting. Like when you sit on the bench, and we're all have our ass on the bench, but some guys literally have their ass on the bench, like their ass is out of their shorts.
yeah,
and on the bench.
Skin.
Like Big Bill.
Oh.
His ass is
Poor
actually
Big Bill.
Fat Dan. His ass is actually on the
And he's
bench.
deadlifting and his asshole's hanging out.
Yeah, his ass is
Just,
right out.
Just
in
wear
there.
a longer shirt or tuck it in.
Yeah. Is that well? See,
Dan yesterday or actually Tuesday.
See now his asshole, I would imagine, is like tucked in more because if
your butt
is up this way, then that would bring the asshole this way too.
Yeah,
anterior pelvic tilt.
Right.
Yeah,
or posterior tilt.
Yeah, he's got anterior tilt.
Easier access to the butthole.
So, Jesse, what do you have? Competitive plans, goals?
I mean,
are you bleaching your asshole? Let's get to the bottom of this.
I told you that in secret, Mark.
Oh, son of a bitch! Never mind.
Gotta keep that low.
Mm-hmm.
I do have competitive plans. I'd like to do Raw Nationals, my next meet, and then I'm gonna do the Reebok Record Breaker, and then the last meet I plan to do, which is next year, is IPF Worlds, and then after that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's kind of that's as far as my plan goes. And I'd really love to hit a 2050 total at 198. So
raw,
crazy.
Yeah. Raw. What you obviously you had lifted in single ply for a while. What point did you go? Yeah, okay, I'm done with the single ply.
I got too fat for my suits.
And you said I'm not
fine anymore. Yeah.
They just start hurting, like hurting your legs. Like I know they can pinch a lot.
They
stuff
pinch,
single ply.
and it's uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Knee wraps that you wrap to where they bruise your legs, and It just
wasn't anyone talking about Raw for a while either.
Yeah.
So you needed a new challenge probably. Right?
Yeah, and people don't I don't feel like people understand the suits either. So when you look
I think it's harder. I think that another thing that people miss about geared lifting is that it complicates the weight class thing so much more, because if you're trying to cut down to make a particular weight class, there's a fair chance that when you put the weight back on, if you put it back on, you're not going to put it back on in the same places.
Yeah,
it's going to
messes
accumulate
up the suit a little
bit.
Yeah.
And so you may not be able to do what you had planned to do. That's in the meet. That's it's worth giving up just for that.
Yeah, in my eyes, the big thing for me is like because I do want to help the sport grow. So when people see me lifting in a suit, they're like, well, doesn't that help you? Well, yeah, it does help you. And when you're just raw lifting, anyone can do it. Anyone can go to the gym and lift raw and some knee sleeves.
It's definitely more relatable. I mean, they all have their place in the whole, spectrum of lifting. But in reality, most people can relate more to raw lifting.
What are your thoughts on weight cuts?
I mean,
you got 2 hours, buddy.
Yeah, I don't really do much of a weight cut.
Yeah,
3 to 5 pounds. I walk around at my weight class. I have to do 2-hour weigh-ins wherever I go. So if the 24-hour weigh-ins, when people are dropping 20, 30 pounds just to make a weight class, I feel like it's not quite as fair.
It's clearly different.
It's way different.
Well, it also gets to that point where it's like we talked about earlier, just like it's not that relatable.
Yeah.
To people, like people don't understand that that's like part of what some people do for competition. Is do these huge weight cuts and stuff.
Yeah, it just makes it more complicated, I feel like.
Yeah, even UFC, I think it would be interesting if they did 2-hour weight cuts, just because. Why not?
Because they of the hype around the 24-hour beforehand.
Yeah,
that's a whole
cool, but
pageantry thing that they can do.
Yeah,
on a separate day.
In Japan they used to just do like the weigh-in wasn't like the official weigh-in. That might be a decent way to do it.
Yeah, you could have a little flex off on stage.
Right.
But I think it would be interesting because then
they did outlaw the use of
IVs. Flex off. Yeah. We'll get some views on this fucking video
for rehydration, right?
No IVs, which is plays a role.
They also might as well just institute a rule about percentage or something like that too. I mean, they should you got to protect these guys from themselves, and there's also, you talked about concussions. They're starting to show more and more that people are getting concussions from, being fatigued and being dehydrated and all these different things, and that's going to be a huge factor when the guy gets in the ring and if he didn't rehydrate properly.
Yeah, I don't know the physiology of it, but it seems like you're probably draining fluid from everywhere, and around your brain would be one of those places. So.
Right. Yeah. It just adds more danger to the whole thing.
Yeah,
just draining fluid.
How long did it take you? You said you did a 727 squat in gear, and then in that gear and knee wraps. How long did it take you to get to that similar weight raw?
I took about 2 years off in between and just straight to training. Obviously, I gained a little bit of weight. I went up to 198s from 181s. But yeah, 2 years of just training raw. And
when you did the 727 squat, any idea where you were at?
I think I maxed. I remember maxing at about a 585 raw squat.
Okay.
When I hit 727, so it gave 130 pounds.
Yeah.
Single ply suit and knee wraps. So
You went IPF, you said, when you were 18, and that was the 727?
yeah.
And then we talked yesterday, and it sounded like you were under the radar until maybe a year or two ago.
Yeah, I think the biggest when my name came out was when I totaled 1850 at 198 raw, and that was my first raw meet.
Got you. And that was in Boise.
Yeah, well, Lewiston,
Somewhere.
Idaho. So
Somewhere over there.
Yeah.
What were you doing in between there? Not competing or just training?
Just training. Yeah, training, just working. Again, I was doing my fire thing and stuff like that.
So just too busy to actually compete, or
yeah, I wasn't focused on it. Right?
Yeah. But that was the kind of the transition from single ply to raw during that time.
Yeah, gained my weight and said screw the suits, and I'm just gonna lift raw.
Yeah.
Why do you think people have such a hard time believing that you're natural?
Probably just the numbers I put up, and probably my body composition. But a big thing about that is like they also don't see how I train.
Right.
So I'm not sure what to tell them.
So you tell them to train the way you do for 2 years, eat decently.
Train the way I have for the last 4 or 5 years, and see where you're at. Yeah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Mike doesn't believe you're natural. He's been hating the whole time you've been here.
Yeah, I know. He's
full of shit.
He's been following me everywhere I go to make sure I'm not
He's
sticking
on
a
that
needle in my ass.
put a
or something.
He's on that
GoPro. Put a GoPro in his fucking house in his hotel.
Try to stick a camera in my ass or something.
I always think it's kind of interesting how people just like kind of automatically assume that there's like a level of genetics that, there's a ceiling to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I just think it's kind of laughable sometimes when people think that their genetics are great. And it's like, well, just because your genetics aren't that great and maybe you haven't put the time in yet doesn't mean that everybody else that, lifts over 400 pounds is on steroids.
I think it's the same topic on steroids is people that don't take steroids think steroids do more than they do, and people on steroids think they do less or talk about them doing less than they do.
Yeah.
And then same with powerlifting gear, and then same with genetics.
Yeah.
All those topics.
Yeah.
If you have awesome genetics, you play them down. If you have shitty genetics, you play them up. Like, I'll never get it. I can't get a 6-pack because like, no, you can't get a 6-pack because you're willpower.
Yeah, well,
set
genetics
limits.
are not just one thing.
All right,
it's
right.
genetics for physique, genetics for
Hard
strength,
work,
for
diet,
endurance, all of those things. I mean, they're all different variables, and so
Right.
and somebody like Jesse is has probably got more than one of those going for him.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't think I have great genetics. I mean, I brought up in a family that's decently strong. My brother's strong, but when you look at my parents, there's nothing.
Yeah, your dad's
special
not Bill
about it.
Casimir or something.
Yeah.
Right. And at the same time, you're not 6'5", so it's like
Right.
you have some advantage coming in.
Yeah.
And then you have the ability to gain some muscle where maybe some other guys would struggle a little bit with it. So it's like, maybe your genetics aren't off the fucking charts.
Yeah.
To where you're this just like total mutant where that no one can ever hang with you or anything like that, but. You have a couple things that lend themselves to being good at like a strength sport.
Yeah.
And then also you were, fortunate enough to kind of get involved in the sport that you were, quote unquote made for early on.
That's what I was going to say. That happens in other sports, right? Like LeBron James is 6 years old and he can touch the backboard, and they're like, you're going to the NBA, little buddy. Let's play basketball. But that doesn't happen in powerlifting. It's not like you lift your fucking dad's car at 5 and you're like, oh, my son's going to be a powerlifter.
No.
Like, that just doesn't happen.
Well, look at like Michael Phelps. What if he played something else? It's like
Right.
I'm sure he probably is very athletic and he's probably
He'd
very
probably
good.
be terrible on a basketball
he's probably,
or football field.
He's probably good at a lot of stuff if he started it early. you
Yeah.
know, and,
Yeah.
and worked on it. But the one sport that he's going to dominate and win Olympic gold medals in is swimming. And so he found that sport.
I do think it's a little known fact too. Like Mark talks about all the time that he started lifting when he's 12 and you started lifting when you're 12, 13, 14.
13,
It's
14,
that's a huge step on everybody that they just tend to ignore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then like the real genetic mutants could kind of go into anything.
Right.
That's
Thanks,
what I
Smelly.
think. Well, like Bones Jones. I
Right.
mean, like he's got brothers that play in the NFL. Those brothers, not saying brothers, his brothers could come into MMA and probably do well.
Right. Bones Jones
He
could probably
go in the
tackle or
NFL
some
and
shit.
yeah. I mean, not jump right in the NFL, but
Right.
football experience. He
Right.
could probably play some football.
Yeah, you often see multiple brothers in the NBA or multiple brothers
Right.
in the NFL,
Right.
and that's just how it goes.
Or look at someone like Usain Bolt. I'm sure there's a bunch of shit on the track
Right.
that he can do. Could he be a wide receiver, for the fucking Raiders or something? Probably.
Yeah.
Working on catching a couple of passes, he'd probably smoke everybody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys. That's the upper level of genetics right there. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't take anything because who the fuck knows, really? But
Right.
whether
But they
they
have
do or
that
they
too.
don't, their genetic makeup is way above and beyond anything that any of us.
I'm
can
taking
comprehend.
shit tons of steroids, and Usain Bolt's still faster than me.
Yeah, it hasn't made a difference for you.
No, I look the same. I look just fatter.
Nothing happened.
You're pretty good with that prowler, though.
Not bad.
Yeah,
I beat Omar.
yeah, I know. Smoked it. Well, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian, yeah. He's only trying so hard. He's trying to be polite.
He's politely let me win.
Sorry. Sorry. No,
Maple
sorry.
syrup
Yeah.
eating son of a bitch.
I think another part of it is that we've been around long enough to have seen a lot of lower weight class male lifters. So 198 and below, 220 and below, or whatever. All those guys are lean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whether clean or not clean, they're all lean. They're all pretty strong, or they wouldn't be in the sport. You're looking at a kind of a cherry picked group.
Yeah.
So it's pretty easy to say, oh, that person's not natural, because they can't be, because I can't do exactly what they did. I can't look the way they do, and be as strong as they are, even doing the same things, the same workouts that they do,
Right.
the same diet, whatever. It just doesn't end up everybody in the same place.
Yeah.
Mike, can you look up one of the crazy workouts this little fucker does?
Yeah, I'll look right now.
So we could kind of talk a little bit about that.
Gonna get
Some of
on
the
my Instagram.
some of the numbers. But I
sorry.
do think, when somebody sees an 800-pound deadlift, I think they automatically just assume, just because that is quite a bit more weight than what other people are moving around. I think they automatically assume that someone's using shit.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So, who knows how he warmed up, but he ended up with 725
this
for
is
3.
always so retarded.
Oh, it was
by the
great.
way.
Well, we went to bodybuilding.com, and I was like, all right, like, Jesse's fucking strong. Bodybuilding.com's going to have a fucking awesome facility, which they did have a good gym. But me and Mark were feeling like shit. It was like 0 degrees out. I was like, all right, Jesse, like, what bar do you pull with? And he's like, oh, like just that black one. I went, and it's like fucking fat. There's no knurling on it. I was like, fuck you, bro. Like, you playing a fucking trick? I barely pulled 400 on it. Like, it hurts so bad. It's stiffer than even a stiff bar. Anyway, so he's probably using that bar right here because he's at bodybuilding.com.
I bought my bar.
Oh, did you buy
I
it?
have an Ohio Power bar now.
That's a good bar. That's my favorite bar right now. Made by?
RogueFitness.com.
So he got 725. Is that what this bar is? Maybe it's a little newer video.
Yeah.
Yeah, 725.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it, actually. 725 for 3. Then afterwards, just for funsies, 495 for 12, 585 pounds for 10, and 675 pounds for 2 sets of 6, because 1 set of 6 probably wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah. The first set felt a little odd, so I had to do another make sure.
How long does that take? Like that, just that deadlift workout?
6 hours.
The deadlifts usually take probably 1 or 2 hours. Probably 2 hours.
Yeah, and you kind of go plates, just all the way up,
Yeah.
plate.
Plate.
When you worked up to 725, there's a lot of reps in there too.
Oh, actually, so on that workout, so I did the 495 for 12, all that stuff before
I got you, yeah.
725.
Right.
And usually, I might do a cool down set with 495, just hit a set of 5.
Just to
but
be
Right.
cool.
Yeah, just
It's pretty rare for a powerlifter to do that many reps, especially before they do their main lift. What's the thought process on that? Why the fuck do you do that?
it's
Backwards, man.
Yeah, I like obviously the extra work. It helps, condition you, build some muscle when you're working out. Usually, I don't do that on the heavy weights, but for me, it's just getting used to the weight, filling it out, and then seeing how my body feels. So 495, I always do for 12, just because that's no longer that heavy for me. 585
Is that pretty much part of every workout?
Yeah.
God damn. What about like 315 and 405?
I mean, I do that, but usually like 315 for 6, 405 for 5, just
moving around, because
Just
it doesn't.
moving around.
Those weights don't matter that much.
Yeah, what'd you do
Yeah.
yesterday? 495 for 10 or so.
Yeah.
Fat bar off
Fat.
a big old deficit.
yeah, and then 585 for 5.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
So your normal warm up for a heavy deadlift session looks like
So I'll start out 135, 10, 225 for 8, 315 for 6, 405 for 5, and then 495, 12, 585 for 10.
So you do 2 pyramids?
I guess. Yeah. I just do what works for me, and that's what works.
Yeah.
And
585 for 10, and then how do you get to the 725?
so usually, sometimes I'll hit 635 in between if I feel like I want the extra work. Otherwise, I'll do
Just jump.
675 for sets of 6, and that's usually a decent weight for me. I mean, it's somewhat of a struggle. So at that point,
it's starting to get heavy, huh?
Yeah, it's starting to get heavy. So I know if I can get 6, then go up, because
we talk about that as regardless of your strength, you should kind of have a number. Like, okay, for me, it's like 500, 545 on my deadlift. That feels good. It's a good day. That feels bad that day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if 675 doesn't move, I only hit it for 3 something, I'll probably stay there.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go up after that.
Do you have that kind of number on all 3 lifts?
Yeah.
Some kind of
gauge. Some gauge. For bench, it's usually 315. I'll hit it for 10. If 10 feels good, then maybe I'll hit 405 today.
Yeah.
For, double or whatever.
What about squat? What's kind of your gauge number?
What is a gauge for squats? 585 is usually somewhat heavy, and I can kind of gauge from there.
Yeah.
635 sometimes I'll work up to just for sets of 5 and see what happens.
I gotta say, you're an asshole.
Oh, sorry.
You're a real asshole lifting all that kind of weight.
Yeah, I'm off the team.
I don't mind it. Then there's no more weights for me to lift.
Yeah.
So then I got an excuse.
No, better go home.
Yeah.
Better hit up the old ice cream buffet that I invented.
Ice cream buffet.
I know. Hashtag.
They're gonna start popping up everywhere. Everybody's gonna be so jacked.
Shouldn't released it.
There's gonna be a protein froyo machine. There'll be a fucking gelato.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get a bag of donuts on the way out.
That would only be in Ohio.
Just because.
Yeah.
Handed out by Joe Bag of Donuts.
Do you get sore from these fucking workouts or what? Or are you used to them?
I'm used to being sore all the time. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I get pretty sore.
And then you're doing this amount of volume during the workout. What's the frequency like
For
any of the lifts?
Yeah. How
squat, deadlift? How often?
So I hit deadlifts twice a week. Bench I hit 3 times a week with overheads in between, and deadlifts is twice a week.
Jesus Christ! What kind of plan have you followed? Have you followed somebody else's training, or did your coach kind of help you with this that you had in high school?
Yeah, at first my coach had a laid out program for all the powerlifters that you follow. You squat, bench, and deadlift once a week. And
Right.
just lift 3 times a week, and that's how we did it. And then as I progress, I want to get better, and this program's not allowing me to do what I think I can.
Yeah.
And so I tried out the Chico method for a while, and I took what I liked from that, which was basically the routine I'd follow now. You bench and deadlift Monday, and front squat or whatever, and the frequency between. I took that from the Chico, but then I took the high volume because that's what I prefer to do.
Right.
How do you recover for some of this stuff? You said you take whatever, glutamine, BCAAs, which may not help. Who fucking knows? But you like them.
Yeah.
Is there any other massage, chiropractor, hot tubs, or any secrets so you're not dead the next day?
Usually I stretch, roll out. I think rolling out helps a lot for me.
You do it after.
Yeah, before and after usually, and
During yesterday, you
during,
did a bunch,
yeah, just to keep my back loose. I mean, when I was pulling, I'd roll out my back and stretch out every time in between sets, just to get the blood out of the muscles. That way, I don't seize up in the middle of the deadlift, man.
I noticed you were kind of just taking your time. You would stretch and just kind of wait a little bit, and just whenever you naturally felt like you were ready to go again, you just went again. It didn't seem like it was timed or anything. You just kind of wait around, and then you feel better, and then you go again, right?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty simple.
Play it how you feel.
So when you're working with clients, then what kind of programming do you do for them? I mean, does it look like your training, or is it what's
It's kind of personalized. I mean, I set them up on they're going to do the same lifts as I would on these days, and typically the same volume. But I'm going to watch or have them tell me, hey, maybe I only hit this weight. You said I should hit for 10. I only hit it for 8. And I say, okay, well, let's back off 10 pounds. So next week we hit this weight for 10s. That way you can get in the repetition, you get in the volume, and then we move up from there. You know, it's more personalized based on how they're performing.
So, how it's going for them.
Yeah.
What's your you got a website or something?
I'm working on it.
What do people find you if they do want coaching? Instagrams?
Instagram's the best way.
What is it, Jesse?
Yeah, I set up an email. It's jnorristraining@outlook.com. Yeah.
jnorristraining@outlook.com.
Phenom Athletics is the one site I'm working on right now.
Oh, cool.
So
That's the name?
yeah,
Cool, man.
We'll see what I do with that.
Anything else you want to shout out before we have to all go take a shit?
Shout out Genesis Fitness in Nampa. If you're ever in Nampa, Idaho, come see me there. It's my uncle's gym.
Cool.
Great place to train. And just say hi to Coach Steve Rayborn and Candace, my girlfriend.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, she works out there too?
She works out. We work out bodybuilding. Train at Genesis sometimes.
Train
Just
all over the place.
And
all
then the
over.
garage.
Yeah, I got my
Oh, yeah, your
garage
own
gym.
setup too, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty
Nice.
sweet.
You blast music when you train, you just kind of zone out.
Yeah, I try to piss off the neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Crank it up.
Yep.
All right, very cool. Awesome having you on the show. Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and may all your shits be tapered. At Mark Smillybell on Instagram and Twitter. Later.
At Silent Mike with 2Ks, Instagram and Twitter.
I'm Jim McD, STTV on Instagram and Twitter. Follow the show on Instagram at Mark Bell's PowerCast, Facebook.com/SuperTrainingGym, Twitter and Periscope at STGymSack, and on YouTube
I'm a biter.
/SuperTrainingGym. And we're out.
Mark Bell's PowerCast is a production of